Tonight on Creature Features, the return of the quintessential Creature Features classic, Nightmare in Blood. Vincent appreciates some fine art with painter Sandra Yagi. And will Tangela finally get her comeuppance? Find out tonight on Creature Features.
And Tangela too, and our host Vincent Van Dahl, and he brings it to ya! Creature Features, and all creatures, and all creatures! And the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give us such a bite. You may even die, just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Gonna get you tonight.
Good evening and welcome to Creature Features. I'm your host, Vincent. With me is my tempestuous tenant, the tiny tot Tangela. And over yonder would be the dedicated yet occasionally dubious Mr. Livingston. And tonight we shall tantalize you with a truly thrilling treat.
Oh, do stop with the alliteration.
Dive with us tonight into the dark depths of Nightmare in Blood from 1977, directed by the daring John Stanley. In the cinematic spectacle set in the eerie environs of a San Francisco film festival, the notorious vampire Malakai mesmerizes as both actor and actual undead. This meta-movie mixes macabre madness with movie-making mythos, melting a hauntingly hypnotic homage to horror heritage. Prepare for a parade of perilous plots and preternatural performances where the line between the fictional and the frightfully real fantastically blurs.
For the love of God, please stop.
Is it that important to you?
I would greatly appreciate it.
All right. Our guest will be artist Sandra Yagi, a spirited surrealist stationed in San Francisco who crafts compelling canvases that captivate and challenge. With a masterful melding of macabre motifs and meticulous research, Sandra highlights humanity's hefty impact on nature through striking skeletal symbolism. Her works weave wondrous wildlife narratives enriched by ecological enlightenment into visuals that vibrate with vitality and vigilance. Sandra's studio serves as a sanctuary where science and surrealism seamlessly blend, birthing breathtaking biological beauties. Well, he's in something of a mood. So don't go away, for this to be another night of vampire fright, right here on Creature Features. Stay tuned. Sandra, did you know that if our viewers tuned over to Channel 7 11, or 13, they could be watching Operation Petticoat.
Wow, I wouldn't miss that for anything.
Well, but this is not the actual film. This is a television series, comedy, that they made from the film, I believe. It's only an hour long. There's no way they could show the entire film in 1 hour.
Is it a drama or what is it?
It's a comedy. Tokyo Rose announces that the Sea Tiger is racing 2 Japanese destroyers. It must be a World War II thing. Anyways, you don't want to change the channel because we've got Sandra Yagi, amazing artist, and we've got Nightmare in Blood, which is an amazing film. So between the two, why would one go see Operation Petticoat, right?
Right.
That's right. We're going to show some of your art. We're going to show this film. We're going to have fun. We're going to bring Tangela out, and we're going to try to keep her under control. But how have you been? I have not seen you since that time you had your cat.
Well, I left the cats at home because they just were shedding too much.
She has cats that do tricks. No, it's amazing. It's like they're like trained circus animals. Is this what you do between strokes of the brush? You train your cat.
Well, I actually even bring him to the studio sometimes, but it is hard to get anything done because he jumps on me, or one time he got on the easel and nearly fell over.
I was going to say that perhaps maybe some of your art has embedded follicles.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Of cat hair, which makes it special.
It is special.
This artwork is special. Wait till you see this. This is amazing stuff. Now, you look like somebody who draws like nice landscapes or something like this, and she draws evil skulls.
Well,
They're
everyone
not
says
evil.
I have a dark side.
No, they're nice skulls. It's classy stuff. Anyways, we'll get to that. So this film, you have seen some of this movie, but you have not seen all.
Correct.
That's a nice way to go. That's why I often do it. I watch the middle, and then I watch the beginning and the end later, because I don't understand what's happening when I just watch the middle. So it's like I'm seeing it for the first time. All right, what do you say we start the film? When we come back, we can take a look at some of your art.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, off we go to Nightmare in Blood, 1978. Don't go away. It's a good film.
Coming to this theater next week.
You thrill to the bloodlust of Malakai and the Crimson Demon. You hail from the guillotines of France were red with the blood of his enemies in the Czar of Doom. Now, see Malakai, Hollywood's top box office horror star, in his latest fright classic, The Crypt Ran Red. co-starring Wanda Evans as Cynthia, the temptress who lived too quickly and not long enough. Trapped by her own desires, she never saw the army of the undead which marched forth at Malakai's bidding. With Maria Nagel as Cassandra, the seductress Malakai could not resist, though her lips meant death.
A suicidal stake through his own heart. A self-sacrificing vampire.
Curtis Nolan as the police inspector, who knew his modern force was no match for the might of a 1,000-year-old monster. Eduardo Nash as the doctor. He knew the answer to the mystery could only be found in the family crypt, but he dare not reveal it.
I tell you, Professor, these killings are strange. Almost beyond belief.
Hogwash, Doctor. Surely you don't believe them old superstitions? Rubbish. Never has the screen showcased such terror, and never has Malakai crossed the threshold from death to life with such foreboding power, such deadly menace. Malakai rises from the grave again to chill and thrill you. Don't miss The Crypt Ran Red. Rated PG.
When?
Not now, not now. Okay, now. Well, here it is, our Palace of Horror. What do you think, Cindy?
I mean, the original Frankenstein film must have played here.
That's possible. Original Frankenstein, Universal, 1931, starring Boris Karloff.
Reminds me of the locale of your first horror novel.
There's plenty of atmosphere. This is like a set from one of those Christopher Lee British films.
Yeah, there are ghosts all over the place.
How do you know that?
Elementary. Sherlock knows everything. Shh. Listen.
What is that? No, come on, I'm serious. What is that?
The ghost of the old usher.
Now, there is somebody here.
This is Flannery, the custodian.
Yeah, since 28 when they first opened the place. What are you doing around here? I got cleaning to do. Expect a bunch of nuts rented the place for a crazy convention.
That's us. We're the convention committee.
Oh, you're the ones putting on the horror con.
Yeah, we're the nuts.
You want to hold a screwball convention, go right ahead. Just as long as I get no complaints about my coffee and Danish. It's not like the old days. That's when they made real scary movies. Lon Chaney and the Phantom of the Opera. John Barrymore, Dr. Jekyll, and Mr. Hyde.
Hey, how'd you like the ghost?
Oh, I think I'm in love.
I hear you.
It's terrific.
Just imagine, in about 2 hours, Malakai's coffin on that stage.
You really ready for him, Professor? Pretty weird how he lives his role off screen.
Oh, the fans eat that up. I mean, don't forget a box office gross of 10 million. All Class A vampire flicks.
Yeah, Cindy's right, Scotty. Malakai, one of the screen greats. It's like having Lugosi, Karloff, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price. And he's right up there with the very best of them.
How come you always leave out Maria Ospinskaya?
Because I'm a chauvinist.
Hi.
Hey, babe.
Cindy.
Hi, Barbara.
Hey, you're late. Yes, I got hung up at the health spa. 3 overweight ladies.
For your health. You get out there on the golf course and you'll forget about all your troubles.
What do you think?
It looks great.
Good,
I got
Harry. We
something
got
like
work to
this
do.
back at the
All
health
right.
spa.
Where
that will
she
make
lies.
this look conservative.
Professor Seabrook?
George Wilson.
That's right. Howdy do.
Hi, glad you made it.
Good to be here. Is this your committee?
Yes, Cindy O'Flaherty, George Wilson.
how
George
you
is
do?
host of
How do you
Fright
do?
Flicks. I'm going to be on the show tonight.
Ah. Oh, and this is Barbara Castle. She's helping me with the fashion coordination.
How do you do, Barbara?
And Philip Scott, Scotty. Scotty's handling the writers
there.
program and the film.
This is Harry Marsden, my cameraman. He'll be moving around. Just ignore him.
All right. Oh.
You know, Malakai's refused to be on my show tonight.
Well, it's rumored
Brian?
that he hates your show.
And you in particular.
Well, I don't
Brian,
care.
he's upstairs.
That's why I brought Harry. I'm determined to get an interview with him tonight, no matter what.
Good luck.
Well, good luck to you, Professor. I got a little surprise for you. We're having another guest on the show, Dr. Carl Unworth.
Oh, no. No.
I hope to keep it a friendly discussion.
Oh, well, now this is something I'd really like to see.
Well, here's another added thing. He's organized the women's groups in town, and they're going to have a demonstration outside the theater tonight.
Welcome back to the show. We are watching Nightmare in Blood with the wonderful Sandra Yagi, who's an artist, a composer. You compose art, right?
Yes, correct.
So-
Painting.
Painting, right. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But first, the film. So in case you don't know, this film was created by our predecessor, John Stanley. He used to host the show before we did it. And he decided to go off and make a film, and this is it. And, you know, it's not bad for a horror film for a first try. Yeah, most people, if I tried to make a horror film on the first try, it'd be horrid. No, it'd be ludicrous. It would be absolutely ridiculous. Not like this art, though. This art is fantastic. Tell me about this.
Okay, that's the whole series was a series about movie monsters.
And this would be Jaws.
Jaws.
Right.
And I took the viewpoint of one of those monks that sat in the monastery doing illuminated manuscripts, but what if he had seen our mass media movies?
Oh.
And so what I did for the script that's in there is I took one of my favorite quotes from the movies.
Which is?
You're going to need a bigger boat.
You're going to need a bigger boat. But his hand's not in the mouth, though, right?
No, that's where he's
right.
throwing the chum out in the water.
He's throwing the chum out.
And then the
one of the
shark
best
comes out.
scenes in that film.
It's one of my favorites.
Right. So you did this almost like it's in the Bible, right?
Yeah, what they used to do is more religious texts.
Right.
But I think for modern times, I like the idea of movies.
No.
Our favorite iconic movies.
I think you should do the entire King James Bible in horror movie scenes.
That would be good.
No, I think you could do it. It'd be what you could find a scene from every film to depict every tale in that particular book. This frame is wonderful. Where'd you get the frame?
I order it through a custom framing company, and it comes pre-built with pre-cut mats.
No,
I'm not real handy, so I need to have them.
Well, you don't need to be with a frame like this. All right, so let's take a look at this one. And this one is somewhat rather special because it has a dragon.
It's Rodan.
Rodan.
From the Godzilla series.
Yes.
And this is not the early Rodan. You know, there's several versions.
I did not know this.
Yeah, there's the the 50s one.
Right.
And this one, I think, is from the
so it's like
remake.
Godzilla, right?
Yeah,
He
Godzilla,
had
King
several
of the
variations.
Monsters.
Right. You know, I think the 1950s Godzilla had kinder eyes. No, he had very kind eyes. That's why I felt bad when they kept shooting at him.
Yeah, he was kind of a
eyes.
lot of the best monsters are kind of a creature that you feel sorry for,
Right.
in a way.
No,
Those are the
that
best.
brings drama to the film
Yeah.
when you feel sorry for. All right, so he's got, what is this, a jet?
A little jet. The jets were all trying to take out.
Right.
Old,
And here we go with the illuminated text again. And this line is...
Slaying dragons is a Western concept. In the East, they're considered sacred.
Oh.
It's just the different viewpoints.
Right.
Between...
No, I like it. I like it. This is wonderful. I think you should do an entire book on these. All right, what do you say we get back to this film? And when we come back, we're going to take a look at another piece of your art, right?
Okay.
All right, off we go back to Nightmare in Blood. Don't go away because the film gets better, the art gets better, and I don't get better. But that's okay. We'll see you soon.
Well, the pickets are hard at work, Billy. They're doing some of the promotion for us. Malakai would love to hear you think that way, Billy boy.
Those must be the two PR men, Harris and...
Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, how are you? How are you? And Mr.
Just call me BB.
BB.
And you must be Professor Seeley.
Yes, I am.
Nice to meet you, Professor. And,
Nice to meet you.
This little darling?
This is one of my associates on the committee, Cindy O'Flaherty, BB.
Cindy O'Flaherty.
How do you do?
Mr. Harris. Publicity purposes.
Well, we're still getting things together. We should be ready in a day or so.
Now then, before Malakai arrives, there are a few strict rules he insists upon. In the tradition of the screen greats, he feels he must live the role of the vampire at all times. He'll have it no other way.
Well, all of us understand the conditions of the contract and appreciate his attempt at realism.
Well, that's the way of it, Professor. Now, you take this cross here around Cindy's neck. It'll have to come off.
Malakai. I'm Winslow Seabrook.
Ah, Professor. I've read your novels and only regret that you have yet to indulge in the vampire genre.
Well, that's something I've regretted myself. Perhaps after this meeting...
As an actor playing a role, I assure you I have my own very distinct ideas of the vampire's place in contemporary society.
I'd like to hear those ideas.
Certainly. Later, perhaps, during the convention.
Please. That Harris is a creepy little guy.
That's PR men for you.
Hatchet man working for Malakai out of Hollywood.
I've got to get back to the spa. We close at 10. Come on over, Cindy, when you get finished, and we'll go for a midnight swim.
By midnight, I'm gonna need that swim.
Come on, Mike, come on. Let's keep back. Come on. Out. Malakai. I'm George Wilson. You know, Fright Flicks host.
I've been informed of your program. And of your tongue-in-cheek commentary directed at the genre of horror films.
Well, it seems to be what the fans like.
Indeed.
That's a bogey for you, George.
Let us set the stage, Professor.
Okay, fans, I guess I'm the villain now. Everybody will have to leave. There'll be time for more autographs later, okay? Everybody out now, please. Right this way. I think we've complied with everything that your PR man, Mr. Harris, and Mr. Oop, be very careful coming up these stairs. They're really dangerous. This morning, one of our crew fell in there. We've slanted all the publicity so that the buffs will think that you're actually in the coffin asleep on the stage during the daylight hours of the convention.
I intend to maintain a believability in the supernatural as best I can. Such a believability should be the prime motivation behind all horror films. An actor cannot afford to disappoint his fans. And now, Professor, if you will excuse me, I have several public relations angles to discuss with Mr. Harris. Harris?
Cindy?
Hi. Where's Malakai?
He's, gone. Well, he must have left already.
Oh, maybe just taking a little nap. No? I guess everyone's gone.
Well, let's go.
Well, where to?
Gary Arlington's comic book store. I told Scotty we'd meet him there. We're going to go over the comic book displays for the lobby.
You notice how dismal everything looks when there's no one here?
Hello! Lonely, all right. You can almost feel it generating its own personality. Its own emptiness.
Come on, let's get out of here.
We can lock up on the way out.
So this is home for the next week, hmm?
This is it. And does it suit you?
Not bad.
Oh, well, for such short notice.
It's another Surgeon Square.
You know, practice is keeping you boys very proficient.
The Gestapo would call this subterranean chamber a safe house.
One episode out of many.
It's more years than I care to count.
Well, I stopped counting long ago. Good. What have you boys planned for the evening? Oh, a little nocturnal sojourn, perhaps?
Sticking out our necks, you mean?
Oh, come off it, Harris. You know you enjoy your little excursions into the night.
Fair exchange, I call it. You do for us, we do for you.
I still wish we'd stayed in Beverly Hills.
You know my career is everything. How could I turn down this opportunity?
Another mark in the history of the cinema. The first horror con with Malakai, the prime attraction. Not even Lugosi had a chance like this.
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
Oh, Tangella, look, a 106 socket wrench tool set for only $14.99 American. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, I've always wanted a tool set this size, but, you know, they want like $500 at Sears, but I can order them through TV Guide for only $14.99.
I don't think there is a Sears anymore.
What do you mean there's no Sears? There's always been a Sears. There always will be a Sears. There shall always be a Sears.
If you say so.
Yes. Welcome back to the show. Sandra had to step away for a moment to get some more artwork, right?
Yes.
So we're going to do mail because you sent us mail and we received the mail, and there's a transaction which occurs that requires us to read your mail, and that's what we're going to do now, right?
A transaction.
Yes. An implied transaction.
Implied.
Right. Give me some mail. Quit looking and give.
Here's something from Cloverdale, California, which is close by.
Sent on a strip of paper.
Well, I
This
transcribed
is how
it.
Mail is sent from Cloverdale. All right. Dear Mr. Livingston, please inform Vincent that Biddy and Bitty are not the same word. I know that. We need to stop him from flopping about like a fish out of water about this. I am not doing the flopping, sir, or madam. I'll gladly drive from Cloverdale to Bodega Bay to explain this to Vincent. Bitty as in tiny pieces, and Biddy as in an old woman. When I visit, no doubt I'll be tongue-tied over meeting the impish Tangella. Now, she shall tie your tongue manually, is what she shall do, because she does that. She's a tongue-tier. She uses those threads hanging off her hair to tie people's tongues. So, the word biddy, I believe, comes from old chicken, is what
Old
a biddy
chicken.
is. Yes, an old hen.
I have no idea.
So biddy actually refers to poultry, and when you call a human woman a biddy, that's where the insult comes into play. So see, you learned something too, Jazz in Cloverdale. Thanks for writing, love. Next up, Mr. Livingston.
Salisbury, Maryland.
Salisbury, Maryland. Why are you being so quiet tonight?
She's always quiet.
No, whenever she puts on her jammies early, she gets quiet. Oh, look at this. All right, so a fan, Ben. No, there's somebody in the world named a fan, Ben.
I think they mean, never mind.
I know what they mean. I just like confusing you. All right, here's a wonderful illustration which I imagine was created by Ben on the cover, right? And he goes, Mr. Livingston, Sir Vincent, and Lady Tangella. You know, she has ladylike potential, but she's nowhere
Potential,
near a lady.
perhaps.
Ladies don't explode commodes at rock concert venues, do they?
Nobody should be doing that.
Right, especially a lady. All right, nothing I could create would be as cool as you all are. Thank you for all the awesome things you do. Ben Cheseldine, Salisbury, Maryland, Eastern Shore of Maryland. You know, he's from the Lobster and Lighthouse part of Maryland.
I think it's crab.
Right. Crab in Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You are all invited. So we were going to go see Ben in Salisbury, Maryland, right?
Why?
Because he invited us. It says you are all invited.
Oh.
You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of Ben's hospitality.
Thank you. And we have one from
He's
Dennis.
moving really slow tonight. Typically, he moves quite a bit quicker.
Are you quite finished?
If you just bring the mail,
Dennis Biggs.
Dennis Biggs. Greetings from Levittown, Pennsylvania. I love your show every Friday and Saturday. I'm including a photo of my hellhound Zazzle. She loves skulls as much as Tangella. Thanks for the hours of creepy fun. And here's Zazzle. Look at this. I like Zazzle. Zazzle's wonderful. He looks so proud with that skull. Does he not? Or she not? What would Zazzle be? Is that a girl name or a boy name? I suppose it could be for any. It signifies persona, I imagine, right?
Perhaps.
Persona.
Zazzle. Zazzle has like pizzazz.
Is that it? That's all the mail?
That would be it.
That's all the mail. Well, you have to write mail to us. We're getting short on mail. Just go to Hello Creature Features, and that little website will show you how to send us a photo of your dog with a skull, a nice illustration that you created with an invite to Maryland, or if you'd like to send us a big bucket of shrimp. Actually, we don't need that.
No.
No, we're so close to the bay. We can get our own shrimp. However, if you've got some other exotic meal, maybe they could send.
Please, no food.
No, maybe escargot. Right? No, I have not had escargot in 2 weeks. All right. Anyways, we'll be back with Sandra soon, but let's get back to Nightmare in Blood. See you soon.
It is almost a work of art.
It is a work of art, Cindy, reposing in four-color limbo since the year of darkness, 1954, when censorship caused these works to wither and die.
Never in your eyes.
Nor in the eyes of those who appreciate the greatest medium of all time, the comic book.
Ah, vintage Wally Wood, 1951.
Right. As you can see, the sands of time have taken away nothing. They've given only freshness.
Kind of gives me a chill, you know? It's a satisfying chill.
Looks like we could use a few new candidates on the board.
Let's see.
Maybe we could fill it with some of those nice folks we met in the lobby.
Removed from the body and most of the blood drained. Ironically, the theater was presenting a double bill of horror films at the time.
Look, we're counting on you to give us a hand decorating the theater over the weekend.
I stand by eagerly. I feel it is an honor to partake in the first of horror cons.
Well, I hope it's not the last.
You've really got this place together, Gary.
A shrine for comics of all times past and of all times to come. What you see about you has come to symbolize my life's work.
I've got to get to the TV studio.
Fright Flicks seems to be where it's at these days.
Can you handle him?
Who, Unward?
Mm-hmm.
He's a born loser.
He does have a way of persuading people.
The persuasion of the truth is stronger. Men will turn to ashes. Only comics will prevail.
Well, I'll see you at the theater tomorrow, okay? Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Cindy, I'll walk you to the car.
Oh, thanks.
Nice, thanks.
Been meaning to reread Sherlock Holmes and the Sign of the Four.
Of mysteries I know little. Of comics I know all. The truth of the universe can be found here. The mythos of mankind. One need only look among the old, new, horrifying, funny. Peace, war, love, hate, underground, above ground, death. All is here, within these walls.
We'll be ready to go in just a minute, Dr. Unworth.
This is my bed.
Say, how'd you get Malakai to come down for this horror con of yours? He didn't want to come to the show.
Well, we were lucky. We contacted his manager in L.A. And he was free, fit into his schedule. Plus, we're showing 4 of his films, too.
And now, stay tuned for the incomparable George Wilson, coming up next on this channel with another Fright Flicks.
We're about to go. Good evening, fans. Welcome to Fright Flicks, the show for Saturday night losers without a date, the show for people with nothing better to do. I've been reading a lot of letters from you viewers, and you're all asking me the same thing. Why do you even bother, they ask me, to show 2 rotten films every week? Well, tonight we sort of got an answer for that. Instead of 2 rotten films, we're only going to show 1 rotten film, okay? And instead of our first feature, we offer 2 distinguished guests, each with a different point of view about horror films. On my left, a man who actually enjoys the things, the noted author, Professor Winslow Seabrook. And on my extreme right, Dr. Carl Unworth, a psychologist who has devoted the last 10 years of his career to a crusade against horror films because he feels they contribute to the deterioration of our youth. In fact, this very program is featured as a contributing cause in Dr. Unworth's latest book on the subject, Rape of the Young Mind. This book treats horror films in some depth. And indeed, Doctor, you have an entire chapter on the vampire film actor Malakai. How come?
The malignancy known as Malakai is indeed the core of my book, Mr. Wilson. His exploitation, grade Z vampire films have sickened and poisoned the minds of young Americans for too long now. Why, it's an insult to the intelligence of any God-fearing Christian who knows werewolves and vampires do not exist. Here you see a man who in one breath claims to be the epitome of the cinema vampire, who has the audacity to call his work film art, and in the next breath poses for this kind of trash.
What an excellent time for me to mention the first annual Horror Con, which will be held right here in San Francisco next week with Professor Seabrook in charge.
I'm uniting the mothers of San Francisco so they won't permit their children to attend this disgusting event.
Once again, we are
Petitions
faced
are
with
now
a
being
self-appointed censor who wants to tell us what we should or should not have. I've often wondered, Doctor, what's your personal reaction to a really good pornographic film?
I've examined many such films.
I'm sure you have, Doctor.
Oddly enough, it's time for our first commercial break.
Well, you've done a fine job taking pictures of all the nice folks for the board.
It's just all part of the business of life.
What are you 2 standing there for? Get busy, both of you.
Is it your throw or mine?
I believe it's your throw.
Get the shakes, have you?
I'm not doing those yet. Can you stand the shakes, Billy boy?
Announcement of the channel.
You've got a fine attitude, Billy.
My throw.
Malakai appears irritated. I have the feeling someone's going to get it tonight. Well, come on now, get on with your throw.
Thanks for the swim.
Sure you don't want me to stick around a little while longer?
Cindy will be here in a little while. Everything's cool.
Don't keep her up too late now. We've got a lot of work to do tomorrow. Good night, babe.
And so don't forget, next week at this same time, the famed vampire actor Malakai in his first feature film, Fangs Over London. Unfortunately, Malakai himself won't be here, even though he's in town, but I can understand that. No one likes to review the mistakes of his youth. Professor Seabrook, you were telling us something about the effect of horror films.
Yes, well, these films are a superb outlet for our frustrations. Instead of persuading us to commit crimes, as my colleague purports, horror films may help to prevent that very thing.
How about that, fans? We show one horror film and keep thousands of potential criminals off the streets because they're all sitting at home watching our show. Oh, it's a special treat, fans. In person, Malakai.
I wasn't informed of this. If you think I'm going to sit here...
down. You know nothing of horror, nor of the enjoyment my films bring to the young throughout the world. Like so many others, you want to suppress the creative imagination. You look for the illness in others when that same illness permeates your very soul. And now it's time for a message. The only message will be directed at you, with your shoddy attempts to make a mockery of the entire horror genre. You call it tongue-in-cheek, when it is a slap in the face of every decent horror film actor. Tainted our images beyond repair. To my legions of fans, I must apologize. But I felt it was absolutely necessary to appear here tonight.
Friends, don't forget we've got a second YouTube channel. It's at cfextras.com. You'll find all the extra stuff we create there, so don't miss out. Subscribe today. Welcome back to the show. If you are just joining us, you missed some important portions of the film. You missed a couple of wonderful paintings, but that's all right. We'll forgive them this time, right?
Yep.
Just this time. Anyways, we are watching Nightmare in Blood, 1978. Now, Sandra, did you know that this film actually started beginning filming in the earlier 70s? It took them 5 years to do this film. 5 years? I mean, I can't imagine taking so long.
It must have had a big budget or something.
No, I doubt it. Yeah, a big budget back then was like $100,000. It was like $1 million. Today, $100,000 will buy you a piece of film. That's it. Anyways, we'll get back to the film soon. But I'm looking at frogs, and I love these frogs. Tell me the story behind the frogs.
Okay, I did a whole series of paintings about Japanese supernatural spirits, and the title of the series is Night Parade of 100 Demons. And this is just one of them. It's just, they had stories for any natural phenomenon, and so a lot of animals, if they lived for 100 years, they would turn into what's called a yokai.
Right.
And so that's what this one is, but there's just a whole series that I've done of various beings.
How fun. And frogs was this particular one, so what would be another animal that you might...
Well, foxes are real big in the culture.
Oh, nice.
And
now, are they the red foxes, or are they the gray foxes?
Red foxes, but some of them were white. Some of the really the good guys are white with multiple tails.
And the snow fox would be a white fox, right? The ones that live in the snow, right. This is absolutely fantastic. So this particular piece, this is watercolor, you said?
It's gouache, which is opaque watercolor.
Oh. So to get the look, you have to do several coats, is that?
Yeah, it does take several layers. I start out with just a drawing and then go over it with ink to define it.
I mean, I cannot even see brush strokes. It looks like some fancy prints.
That was the whole idea. Plus, I put that trim along the top. You know how those old Japanese scrolls look?
Yes.
It was to evoke that kind of feeling of...
Right. No, I think mission accomplished. Very nice. All right, let's say we get back to the film, and when we come back, we're going to see something spooky, are we not?
Yep.
All right, off we go to Nightmare in Blood. We will see you soon.
Cindy, is that you?
Such a tender young thing.
Scotty, you still here? Hey, Barb, you in the pool? Hey, Barbara, I decided to take you up on that midnight...
Positive it was him.
He was standing in the doorway by the health chip just as we were leaving.
It was dark, but it was him, all right. The Avenger. You don't forget the face of a man who's followed you for the past 25 years. City after city, always dogging us. We should have done something about the Avenger long ago.
In the meantime, we still have 4 empty containers. I suggest you make another selection on the board.
Why isn't the Avenger on the board? Just a moment. I believe it's my turn. Thank you. Well, now, it looks like Mr. Marsden is approaching the 17th hole. We'd better get at the business at hand.
All right, on with the business of life.
For crying out loud.
It's nice to be working in the daytime for a change, Billy boy.
That old nightlife can really do a fellow in.
Mr. Marsden doesn't seem to be having a very good day.
He's 3 strokes off already.
You ready?
230 yards.
Okay, honey.
Okay.
Good luck.
See what we can do with it.
Oh, honey, you went in the rough again.
5th time today.
Oh, that's too bad.
Boy, I'll never live this one down.
Oh, well, come on, let's go find it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, don't worry.
Are you sure it went down this way?
Not far from here.
Probably rolled down here. Oh, there it is.
Professor Seabrook?
Yes.
Lieutenant Driscoll, homicide.
Yes, Lieutenant. They called and said...
Barbara makes the third dissected corpse we found in San Francisco in the last 48 hours. I understand she and Scotty were planning to be married.
Yes. She was a very talented girl, Lieutenant.
Any enemies?
928.
Someone was their enemy last night.
And your name?
Well, if you pick up anything, let us know.
1970 Francisco Boulevard.
And the phone number.
33747.
Tell me something, Professor.
Okay. Can you think of anything that...
What's it feel like when the horror in these posters starts to happen to you?
Okay, if you can think of anything, please tell me this number.
Ray?
I'm okay.
Why don't you take the rest of the day off, huh?
Work is best for me right now. I'll see you later.
Can I talk to you for a minute, Professor?
Sure, Scotty.
I saw her, Professor. Barbara.
The whole thing is so senseless.
That's just the point, Professor. It wasn't senseless. This morning, someone carved up Harry Marsden.
George Wilson's cameraman.
Blood was drained. Vital organs removed. Identical to Barbara's.
It's beginning to sound diabolical.
Here's something else. Out of the 3 murders, 2 of the victims were in this very lobby when Malakai arrived last night.
Look, I've been robbed. That man Harris, the PR man, he gave me this. Look at it. No damn good. It's worthless. Now, you people are responsible around here, and I'm holding you personally responsible. I knew he was going to cheat me. I could see it in his eyes. Now, I am holding you personally responsible.
Okay, relax, relax.
All right.
Here.
Good enough. In the old days, they made good pictures. Oh, the cabinet of Dr. Caligari was real famous. Oh, the hunchback, a real monster. Hey, Cheney, he knew.
Look at this, Professor.
It's pretty old.
Looks like a dime.
No, it's not a dime. It's British.
1824.
Yeah, it's a 6pence. Must be George IV.
I wonder where Harris got this. You know, there's something weird about those 2.
Granted, they don't fit the mold of the PR men I've known.
Some new films that just arrived this morning. Guess I'd better screen a few. Weed out the best ones for the fans.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Jolie. If you don't remember, I called when I was 7 years old, and you guys are still rocking it. I don't know if you're going to believe this, but it has been 3 years since I called you guys. I'm 9 now, and yeah, have a good day. Bye.
So, Sandra, accomplished artist you, did you know that the role of Cindy in this film was auditioned for by Suzanne Summers, and she did not get the part?
Wow.
Can you believe that? This could have been a different movie with
Definitely.
Suzanne Summers. I mean, I think she'd do the whole Three's Company act, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Maybe that wouldn't work. This one, Quinlan, you said the name was?
Kathleen Quinlan.
Kathleen Quinlan probably does a better job. Just nicer hair. Anyways, what in God's name is this?
Well, it's a fairy skeleton riding a snail.
I love it. It looks like the snail is fairy as well, though.
It is kind of magical, but I did use an actual species from Cuba.
A fairy skeleton ferrying a fairy snail.
Yep.
That could be a tongue twister.
And it's also inspired by illuminated manuscripts, because a lot of those had, in the margin, they had knights riding snails.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they had very strange things in the margins.
You know, I always liked that film, Dr. Dolittle, when they get in the giant snail at the end.
Oh, I missed that part.
You never saw Dr.
No.
Dolittle with Richard Harris? Dr. Dolittle? They get inside a giant snail. That's how they get off the island, I think.
Wow. No, I haven't
Oh, you have to
seen
watch it. No. This would inspire you to make an even
Sounds like
bigger fairy snail for your fairy skeleton. Now, why do you call them fairy skeletons? Because they have the wings?
There's another thing about this, which is in fairy tales and things, it's always happily ever after. But what I've done is insert a skeleton in there, which of course has more of a mortality kind of meaning. So it's inserting reality into a fairy story.
I like it. And the wings are still nicer. And he's smiling, of all things. So he's a happy fairy skeleton.
Well, he is.
He should be. All right, off we go to the movie. And then when we come back, we've got a big one to look at, right? All right, we will see you soon after the break. Don't go away.
Come out from behind that curtain. He's appearing before our very eyes. I tell you, this place is cursed by the gods.
I want to see your blood dripping
Look,
down.
will you knock it off? Oh, what's that?
Don't bother with the last reel, Jimmy. I can't take any more of this dog. Kill it.
Know what dumb is? Dumb, you are stupid. You don't think before you make a move. You just move and that's it. I don't understand how you could do such a dumb thing.
Likely you don't understand nothing.
Really dumb. You just don't think sometimes. You do things without thinking. That's your
You ought to
problem.
be a nanny, you know. You're so good.
Give her one of those coins to that blabbering old fool. You another slip like that, you'll be resting in Potter's Field again.
I tell you, it was an honest mistake. What are you trying to do, anyway? You trying to promote my own death now?
Promoting our own eternity, you fool.
Another 2-year fling for us, huh?
Well, it better be quick. I'm starting to get the shakes myself. Come on, let's get out of here. Malakai's coffin will be safe enough.
Back to Surgeon Square we go, selling our goods.
That's it, Billy boy. Promotion. Always promotion.
Surgeon Square. Yes, a British term. Used to describe private medical colleges clustered around universities, usually specializing in anatomical research. Why?
Gary, is your store still open?
Normally, the store remains open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., closed on holidays. However, due to the singular urgency of the preparation of the Horicon, I've been unable to...
I need in, like right now.
A desire I'm most pleased to accommodate.
Let's go.
Scotty, what the hell is going on?
You'll never believe it, Professor. Let's go, Gary.
How is the research progressing?
It's beginning to fall into place, Gary. Listen to this. Number 10 Surgeon Square, the home of Dr. Robert Knox, anatomist, in Edinburgh at the old college on the South Bridge.
Alack, factual murder is not my forte. Crime Does Not Pay, the famed comic book, was my most deep involvement.
Factual crime is my forte. I should have put all this together sooner. William Burke. Bill Burke. Beebe. Hare. Harris. The original body snatchers.
Neither living nor dead.
Yet for the vampire, blood gives neither life nor death.
But it does sustain life.
And a career.
You know, there is something to be said for the art of the horror film.
You can talk about art, but few horror film actors have ever attained it.
It is the age-old problem, a lack of good parts. Lugosi, for example, would take anything just to keep working. Even the best. Vincent Price, Cheney Jr., Karloff, Christopher Lee, Lionel Atwell have always worked in potboilers. I have always demanded literate scripts. In fact, Professor, I was so impressed with your novel, Triple Trauma, that I've given some thought to you as my writer.
Talk to my agent.
Good. We might consider the ecological problems of the contemporary vampire.
Consider how air pollution and chemical poisons have taken their effects on the human bloodstream.
Excellent! And in turn, think of the effect this taint would have on the blood-drinking vampire.
Something else we might consider. Who is the true monster, vampire or man?
Well, it is the vampire who has come to symbolize evil. It is the human race that should have that honor.
I've never thought of that before. But that is the way a modern vampire could think.
And one more thing to think about. A new kind of love interest.
Love interest. Good. Love interest does tend to slow things down.
I mean, I'm tired of maidens lying in gothic beds zombie-like while Christopher Lee stares them to death.
I agree. Consider this situation. Let us say you and this girl are in love. Professor, you are a vampire. You lust for her blood, but you love her too much. Still, you need blood. You are miles from anyone else. Dawn is approaching. How do you resolve this complication?
Well, as Dracula would have done, I'd transform myself into a bat and...
Rubbish, Professor. Don't tell me you would use such superstitious rot. A 175-pound man transforming himself into a 14-ounce bat. The bat is a grotesquely ugly creature of the night. Rat-like body, claws, leathery arms. Horrible.
I was merely using the tradition set down by Hollywood. Superstition, folklore.
Don't believe everything you see in the movies, Professor.
The vampire could eat his own flesh, drink his own blood.
Disgusting. Absolutely. I'm afraid the morbidity of such a plot development would upset certain audiences. I do try to maintain a PG rating.
He almost sounded too real.
He does have a way. No wonder his fans call him convincing.
Hey, listen to this. In Britain, during the 1820s, the law required that all bodies be given a Christian burial.
Sanctimonious, the British.
With growing classes of students, the schools were forced to purchase their cadavers illegally. In the case of Dr. Knox, he turned to Burke and Hare. Hey, dig this. In just 10 months, they murdered 16 men and women, selling each corpse to Knox for 8 or 10 pounds.
And their own demise?
Knox exonerated of all blame, his career destroyed, Burke hung by the neck, his body skinned, his hide tanned, his skeleton put on the exhibit in the university's museum. Hare, a witness for the prosecution, released, vanished, and never heard of again.
Oh, boy. In the old days, they really knew how to make pictures. D.W. Griffith, Barrymore, Lon Chaney. They were the greats. What is this? Pictures on the wall. Bert, it looks like an electric shock. Bubbles all over. That's an X-ray machine. What do they want with that? Electric, atomic energy. That's what I thought it was. Oh! What do we got? Looks like liver. Oh, no. That's pieces of paper. Oh. There's somebody living down here.
It's pretty crazy.
I once believed that Captain Marvel truly existed. Proceed with your belief.
Gary, I think those PR men are Burke and Hare, kept alive all these years without a trace of aging.
And what ancient alchemy could have achieved such a miracle?
Malakai.
And what does that make Malakai?
Maybe he's exactly what he says he is.
A vampire.
Do I believe it?
Well, you want to show me around?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Just let me get a couple of flashlights, just in case. Not afraid of the dark, are you, George?
Ooh.
Follow me.
Shouldn't we wait for the house electrician?
We're a low-budget operation too, George. I think it's just a trip circuit.
Say, while we're here, can I get a shot at Malakai's coffin?
Is that one of your guys?
Hey, what are you doing there? Get away from that coffin!
Stay back. Let me finish my work, damn you.
Damn it, I said get away from that coffin! Hold that. Sure. What's the matter with you? You crazy? No. Hey, somebody stop that crazy son of a... Hang on to him, Scotty. Don't let him up.
What the hell's going on? Who is this guy?
That's what I'd like to know.
He thinks we've stumbled inadvertently upon one of life's fleeting skirmishes.
Oh, there he is.
He was trying to pry open Malakai's coffin.
With this.
You fools. Now you're all in danger.
We're in danger. From what?
A real vampire?
I suppose we should call the police.
Police? For a guy who believes in vampires? Okay, on your feet.
I guess you're right. County hospital would be the best place.
The only place.
A head shrinker would be most apropos.
Hello, this is Mr. Livingston. It would appear I have been tasked with requesting you to help our show financially by visiting our Patreon page. Your generosity will help us keep Creature Features on the air. With only a few dollars a month from you, your kindness will allow us to continue creating new entertainment for your viewing pleasure each and every week. And if you have the desire to give more, you might even receive a gift from Tangela. I think not. Please visit the website below to learn more. Thank you.
Scotty, that man in the ambulance, he was the one at the health spa last night.
What are you talking about?
But I'll never forget that face.
That's the link. He's on the same track.
Scotty, that was Barbara's murderer.
That man, he wasn't Barbara's murderer.
No, but I saw him. He's the killer.
He's not a killer, Cindy. You've got to trust me. It's a fantastic story, Cindy. But I need time to prove it.
I just wish that I could understand some of this. But all right. I won't go to Driscoll.
Thanks, Cindy. Thanks. Can you cover for me tonight?
Yeah, you're covered.
Good girl.
I count on you both to keep an eye on that coffin when I'm resting.
Sorry, Malakai. We were out taking pictures, snapping new candidates for the board.
Fools! Have you no skill in your craft? The Avenger was here in the theater all the time.
Give us the word, Malakai. We'll even skip the formalities.
They're trying to kill me. The Avenger's put himself in great jeopardy. He's right where we want him. Yes, we will skip the formalities.
You also believe Malakai is a living vampire.
And I'm convinced that Beebe and Harris are Burke and Hare.
Thank God. I can't believe it. You are the first person. The first person. I have been working alone for so long. I was beginning to think I would never find anyone who would believe me, who would even listen.
Oh, I'm listening. Call me Scotty.
Scotty. My name is Tobias Ben Halik. I'm Jewish. I'm a member of the Haganah, the Israeli Avengers. I was part of the original Jewish group assigned to track down fleeing Nazi war criminals. I have been concentrating my efforts for a very long time now on the man known to the world as Malakai. In the beginning, I thought I was pursuing a Nazi, but as the evidence amassed, I realized I was on the trail of something far worse, if that's possible. A vampire. A vampire who had been preying on thousands of human beings for at least the past several hundred years.
Evidence? What evidence?
I have evidence. Quite convincing evidence. 25 years of evidence.
I've got to get you out of here.
How?
Start with him.
Out cold, like a heron from the Channel Sea.
And the Avenger, free as a bird. It's back to Surgeon Square.
Aye, to face the wrath of the Devil's own. Did you finish the job?
It's gone.
The Avenger got out ahead of us. Damn. All right, we'll get the Avenger another time. In the meantime, I believe, Harris, that it's your turn. I'll fix the board. That won't be necessary. The board's ready.
When an adult watches a movie monster strangling a movie maiden, he never for a moment believes that he is seeing anything that really happened. But when a child sees the same scene, oh God, when a child sees the same scene, he lacks the experience to tell the difference between reality and the make-believe of the silver screen. Oh, Dr. Unworth, who gave you your degree?
Okay, Tobias.
Look closely here, and you will see a startling resemblance to Malakai. This would place Malakai in Great Britain at the time of Burke and Hare. Now, look at these other posters. Look at the photos. In each one, the face. And notice all of the different names. Maine, Amalek, Elaine Key. All of the names are anagrams or variations of Malakai.
An incredible coincidence.
Hello? Seabrook. This is a hell of an hour to apologize. Oh, all right, in the morning. What? Can't it wait? Oh, very well.
Due to Malakai's aristocratic background and his egotistical pride as an actor, he felt it was beneath him to seek out his own victims. He preferred accomplices. His early experiments brought Burke back to life. But after a short while, the aging process abruptly accelerated. And so Malakai began new experimentations for a better formula.
Which he carried out simultaneous with his stage career?
Yes, with his stage career during the Victorian era in England. With his own traveling troops throughout the depressed countries of Europe in the 1920s, and with an abrupt switch to the field of medicine as Hitler rose to power. Come, I want to show you something. Malakai and his henchmen were welcomed by Hitler, who was already surrounded by monsters of different kinds. This is footage I myself took in July 1945 at the town of Kaufbeuren, south of Munich. It was labeled a home for the feeble-minded and subnormal. It was another hideous link in Hitler's final solution. This was Malakai's office at Kaufbeuren. He was in complete charge. We estimate he murdered at least 2,000 men, women, and children in his continual quest for the formula. When the home was finally liberated, several hundred corpses were found with their hypothalamus and pineal glands removed. 2 of those children were my own. One woman was my wife. I'm convinced he lengthened the effect of the formula to 2 years.
And after the war?
Malakai, as we know him today, first appeared in Hollywood in 1947 to resume his acting career. By the early 1960s, a predictable pattern was forming. Every 2 years, a series of 6 murders would occur.
I take it the 6 corpses were necessary to complete the formula for Burke and Hare.
Never any variation. I tried to destroy Malakai a number of times, but always I failed. This afternoon I tried again and you stopped me. I now appeal to you. Will you help me to destroy this thing?
You've got my help. Professor? Cindy? For Barbara's sake, if nothing else.
I mean, it's insane. All of the pieces seem to fall into place.
The comic ethos decrees that I aid in the destruction of this force of evil.
I was just trying to remember. How do you kill a vampire?
This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
So, Sandra, did you know that the Fox Theater, where they filmed this, burned after they finished filming?
Wow, it's like it was cursed.
Within days, it was like the curse of Nightmare in Blood.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know, trouble happens sometimes in these big theaters. I think that's why they don't make them anymore, because people come and burn them down.
Well, some of them are claimed to be haunted.
Haunted theaters.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of film would one watch in a haunted theater? Phantom of the Opera, perhaps? Ghost Story? I don't know. Anyways, look at this. Is this not fantastic? We're going to put a big one up, as we did before. And what I find most incredible about this particular image is how detailed the skull is. How do you do that?
Well, I own a lot of props and actual specimens. So for the skeleton, I have a very good casting of a human skeleton that I actually pose it into positions and light it so I can get it as real as possible.
Do you have one of those little wooden dolls that...
Yeah, they're not as useful as having a
real skull. Now, you know what you should do is you should offer a skeleton version of that posable doll, right? For skeleton artists like yourself who need to draw a skeleton and need to pose it in different positions.
Actually, a lot of software programs do that. They have like a human
Oh,
posable model,
right,
and then you
right.
could change it into a skeleton. And
I keep forgetting about technology.
Yeah.
I like the old way of doing things.
well, it doesn't quite imitate what a real good casting looks like.
Right.
The software version is way too smooth, and the real version has lots
And the
of
lights,
subtleties.
the lighting's
Exactly.
not right. You have to play with cameras and things like that. Now, this is absolutely fantastic. And butterfly wings.
I actually bought some specimens to get the actual, so you could see the veins,
Right.
and get the feeling of the scales and so forth.
Yeah, this is incredible. This is incredible. So, this one no longer belongs to you.
No, I had to borrow it back from a collector and friend.
She sold it for $5 million.
I wish.
A number close to that. This is fantastic. Well, I'm sure it hangs in a place of honor in whoever's home it belongs to. This is fantastic. All right, well, what do you say we wrap up this film? And when we come back, we're going to find out how people can learn more about you at your website and what you're doing next.
Okay.
All right, off we go to the end of Nightmare in Blood. Don't go away when the credits roll, because Tangela will be sitting here with a list of viewers, and if your name is not on it, she will send you something disgusting in the mail.
Seabrook! You in there?
Seabrook! Garbage.
Don't be frightened, Dr. Onworth. This is, after all, a most amusing place for us to meet.
Where is Professor Seabrook?
Despite what you say in your book, Doctor, mimicry is a natural part of my talent.
I warn you, Malakai, I'm not gifted with a sense of humor.
I've been all too aware of that fact for years, Doctor.
Why have you brought me here?
To see your expression. When you realize your life's work has been all foolishness and ashes. Violence and the macabre existed long before films came into being.
I don't have to stand here and listen to this. I'm going
You
to...
will do nothing. You will merely listen. What horror novel did Attila the Hun read before he destroyed half the world? From which motion picture did Burke and the Hare conceive the idea to murder for bodies and sell them to surgeons' colleges? All of these stupidities I could overlook, Doctor. But for one fact you so readily decry. The existence of the supernatural. For you see, Dr. Olmert, we in the darkness do exist. We do exist. No, Harris. He's mine.
How much longer?
Patience, please. We've become a formidable trio this past century. Bond is formed between us that is unique. I wouldn't want your impatience to destroy it.
Now what the hell's wrong?
Something's closing in.
Come on, man, get on with it.
Sense it. Feel it. Strong, forceful power of good.
No sign of them backstage.
I saw no sign of them in the auditorium.
For God's sake, hurry up.
If no one has any objections, I would like the honor.
You couldn't pay me to touch that thing.
The pleasure's all yours, Tobias.
Sensation. Surging.
I thought vampires could only exist at night.
Sunlight should bring about an immediate demise.
Precisely. But there is no sunlight. This theater is too well cut off from the outside. No windows for the light to pour through.
Of course. It's like perpetual night.
This place is starting to get to me.
They're in here somewhere.
We all have a job to do. Our friend the Avenger is close at hand. He's brought some friends with him. I think it's time we laid him to rest once and for all.
I think our chances are better if we split up.
Are you kidding? If you think I'm going anywhere in this theater...
I meant that we should split into teams.
I go forth armed.
You two tend to the others. Ben Alik is mine.
I'll look for Malakai alone.
Scotty, you and Gary take the basement. There's a maze of corridors and rooms down there. Cindy and I will cover the backstage area.
I will check the front part of the building.
On with the business of life.
In 25 years, you four are the first to believe me. some members of the Haganah, the police of the world. There is very great danger. I just want you to know, I'm very grateful to you. To all of you.
We better get moving. Good luck.
What is all this stuff?
This is a counterweight system made by Armstrong Power. 1927 or 28. I'm sorry, useless information.
Could you please try and think of something useful?
Just stay close.
Gotcha. This place really gives me the creeps.
Yeah. Look out for the,
Chair. Hey, wait.
What?
Nothing. It's okay. Shh. I know. Shh.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. It sounded like some breathing.
Where?
I think it came from that curtain back there.
Let's take a look.
Oh, terrific. I think so.
Pull the curtain back, Cindy.
Oh, I can't.
Go ahead. It's all right. Wonder where that friend of his, Harris, is.
Yes. Oh, my God, he's still alive.
It's impossible. I shot him 3 times. You all right?
Yeah, I just gotta catch my breath for a second.
Malakai's formula. It's made Beebe and Harris immortal. They can't be killed. Not with this, anyway.
I mean, how are we gonna stop him? He'll be here in a moment.
Got to think. How do you kill something immortal?
You chop it up into a million pieces. I mean, maybe it's still alive, but at least it can't hurt you.
A million pieces. Or a pile of ashes. Cindy, do you remember The Thing?
Which thing?
The movie Thing, RKO, 1951, played by James Arness.
You mean Howard Hawks thing?
Right. Do you remember how they killed the monster?
They cooked it. With electricity.
Right. Wait a minute. Come on. The other day when the lights blew out, I saw a cable along this wall. There it is.
Look, The Thing was a movie. This is real life. How do you know it'll work?
I don't.
Such a tender young thing.
Run, Cindy! Get the hell out of here!
Look out! All right?
Yeah, I think so.
Look.
She's turning to ash.
It's just like The Thing.
Paris.
Hey, man, this is fantastic. It verifies all of Tobias's theories.
The insidious stronghold of the maddened doctor. What course of action is now indicated? Malakai will hardly be spiritually enriched by your handiwork. Violence was never my particular lifestyle. However,
The slugs went right through him.
behold, he lives yet.
Keep this thing pinned against his belly. Let's see if this goes through him.
Harris? Did not I say before, man will turn to ashes. Comics will prevail.
Man, we've just had one hell of an experience here.
You should have been with us upstairs.
I hear you. Tobias, has anybody seen him?
We haven't.
No. Everything wrapped up?
The final traces of the lab are gone.
The ashes of all three villains have been disposed of. I made all the arrangements. The funeral for Tobias is set for tomorrow. It will be a day of great solemnity.
Just had a look at the auditorium. A great turnout. Getting a little restless, though.
The gallery awaits.
You really better go.
Welcome. Welcome to the first annual HorrorCon. We're all here because we share a common interest. We love to be entertained by horror, whether in novels, film, comics. We don't mind being frightened because we've always believed that creatures of the supernatural to be mere figments of writers' imagination. These creatures of the undead do exist. They walk freely among us, preying on us. We must now band together with a new goal. A goal that goes beyond the confines
of this convention. A goal designed to warn others that these supernatural creatures do exist. Our power of belief is our greatest weapon in this coming battle. Malakai and his henchmen have been destroyed. But there are others like him still out there, waiting. Beware the monster. He walks among us.
You need another eye for that socket. Yeah, she's always got these one-eyed skulls. It makes no sense to me at all. Anyways, that ends Nightmare in Blood. Star of David instead of a cross. It's a nice change. You know, I think every religion should make a vampire story where they use their potential weapon as the vampire killing device, right? What would Egyptians use? An ankh?
Or Osiris.
Egyptians or Cyrus, who knows? Anyways, fun film. We'll show it again in 2 years and 7 months. Is that all record? 2 years, 7 months, that's what we do. She loves this film, but only because she's a fan of John Stanley, and she knows John Stanley made this film. What's next for you?
Well, I'm working on putting together a large number of paintings for a solo show at Modern Eden next winter.
Oh, wonderful.
Probably about January, February.
And Modern Eden is a large gallery, I take it?
Yes, it's in San Francisco.
Right.
And it's going to be more of those fairy skeletons.
Nice.
And then I'm going to have a show at Art Gallery in August with cryptids and monsters.
How fun. No, that's all kind of art, is it not? This is the kind of stuff that we'd put up on our walls. Right. How do people find out more?
You could go to my website, which is sandrayagi.com.
sandrayagi.com, and they can order prints, I bet.
Yep.
Buy stuff, maybe a book. Not
yet?
No book soon. Yet. Soon. Right. All right. Well, Sandra, thank you so much for coming to see us and showing us your wonderful art. And say hello to the kitty cats for us.
Sure will. Thank you for having me.
All righty. And as far as you guys go, thank you so much for watching us instead of Operation Petticoat, because, you know, maybe you would have laughed at that show, but you can laugh at Tangelo, right? With your spaghetti head. Anyways, we hope to see you next week, and don't forget, we love you. Bye-bye. So, Sandra, you know, I'm thinking, this thing about you training cats, she has a cat which misbehaves. Is there any particular trick you might train it to do?
I train it to run away from here.